Good afternoon, Lagos, and welcome to Soni Irabor Live on Inspiration 92.3 FM. It's a beautiful day, and why do you think so? Of course, it's Father's Day, and here in the studio with him is Best Man Games. Yes, Best Man Games is the African distributor of customized editions of Monopoly, the world-famous board game owned by Hasbro. The City of Lagos edition Monopoly was launched in December 2012 and recently the Nigerian Centenary edition. Now, you may wonder, why is Best Man Games keen on celebrating Father's Day? First of all, my name is Yemi Adedoyin, representing Best Man Games, and you are welcome to Soni Irabor Live on Sunday. Well, why is Best Man celebrating Children's Day? The key objective for Best Man Games is to try to bring back the good old-fashioned family values through games. Father's Day is a day that gives us an opportunity to focus on this referred role, fatherhood. Best Man Games is celebrating this day because we believe that the father is the head or the pillar of the family. The family is the smallest unit of society, and if the family is strong, this will in turn strengthen society and has huge implications for the country. So, in the hot seat today, I'm sure you expected to be hearing Soni's voice, but no. The host of this show is actually on the hot seat today. Welcome, Mr. Soni Irabor. It's good to have you here as a father, not the usual Mr. Soni Irabor everybody knows on Sunday. So, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. I am on the hot seat. The temperature is really, really high, I must say. Oops. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I hope you'll get used to hearing me as your guest.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not planning on taking his job away from him. But, this is just a temporary innovation to actually mark Father's Day in a memorable way. And, we understand that, indeed, a major part of the problems we're having in Nigeria today are because many families are in complete disarray, sadly. Many parents don't even know where their children are, what they're doing, or what company they're keeping. Parents are so busy focusing on trying to provide for the family that they are neglecting the most fundamental aspect of their lives, which is the family. And, single mothers out there, shout out to you. God bless you. You will keep on rising. Single fathers too. You're not neglected. But if you're a single mother, it might be tempting to ignore the role of the father, particularly if you are raising your children single-handedly. But if possible, it is important to still emphasize the role of your father. Otherwise, you send an unspoken message to your children that being a father is unimportant and not worthy of being celebrated. So today, talk to your son or your daughters. Even though you might not be in the best of relationships with their dad, say a kind word. Their dad is their dad. It also helps the child to understand the contribution of a fathers to individual families and to societies as large. As we all know, Mother's Day is more marketable. Chris Rock.
I'm probably more celebrated too.
Yeah, actually, probably even more than just dads in general. And Chris Rock actually made that hilarious joke about mothers actually being more marketable because companies can make more money on Mother's Day. But dads don't get the recognition moms do all the time. Or maybe these days dads have fallen way down the family popularity totem pole, somewhere below grandma and auntie, but slightly above the Alsatian or Rottweiler in the house.
Ouch.
But we are still glad to have you here, Mr. Soni Irabor, and I would like to start dishing out my amazing questions that I have for you. So, Mr. Irabor, I understand you're a father, beautiful wife and kids. Are you close to your children?
Very close to my children.
That is amazing. Who are they closer to you or Yahoo?
I think it's best for them to answer that. But I feel that the kind of closeness we have is we share a lot. We discuss, we converse. Fantastic. And sometimes mom and dad also have our own gossip liners. So.
I'm sure you do. Communication is always key in the family, as we realize. So I'm glad to hear that is important with bringing your closeness together.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just wondered, over the years, how have you managed to build relationship with your kids? I'm sure each of them is different, so I'm sure this is a bit of a punchy question for you now.
It was tough because for the first 6 years it was just our son, and then when our daughter came, it was an interesting experience. He was very excited, but when he saw how excited we were and how much attention we seemed to be paying to this newborn babe that was all like a teddy toy and everything, so adorable, he started, feigning his own, concerns, and well, not feigning, more like
Naturally.
expressing his concerns and saying,
At least he was open
I'm
about
feeling
it.
sick.
Oh.
I have malaria. And we didn't quite understand, but he didn't have temperature, so it was like, okay, one of the pediatricians said, look, I think your son is a bit concerned that you're diverting all the attention he used to have to the girl alone. So we had to then go back to school, in quotes, to learn how to make sure we didn't show too much attention, to one against the other.
Well, I hope you did get that balance right. But
yeah, eventually we did.
I'm glad to hear that. So parents out there, please, I know you might be waiting for a beautiful daughter if you've had a son or a son after. It doesn't matter the sex of the child. Please do not ignore your number ones and number twos when the new one comes, please. We all love you, mommies and daddies, and we want that attention. So I'd like to ask you, Mr. Irabor, what games did you play as a child in your little memory?
Me as a child?
As a child.
If you want to know the kind of game I played, then I'm sure you will laugh at me, because
I was hoping that is what I would do.
Very colonial mentality type of game.
Take us back.
We used to have what you have as toys today. You have plastic toys, you have Barbies, you have all those beautiful toys, Oyinbo babies that we used to get with blue eyes and everything, and sometimes the eyes that blink.
Yeah, they sleep with the blink.
But in my time, there was no such thing. We had wooden toys. Okay. Wooden babies, they were carved in wood forms, and we held it like our babies. So
if they dropped on your head from a high building, that was the end.
Can you imagine? And it was interesting because we saw a symbol of human being there, and so we were attached to it. I was attached to mine, and then there was there was this kind of roller that was supposed to be some kind of wooden bicycle, that you hold at one end, and because I couldn't walk, you hold on to it, and then you crawl, or you
was it 2 tires or 3 tires? Was it a tricycle?
One tire in front, 2
at the back to
tire.
give you some balance, right? So you don't go injuring yourself.
It was something else. That's me as a child, and as far as I can remember, we used to play some kind of games from the para rubber. Para rubber.
Okay, I think I was too young.
Okay, but para rubber is Nigeria used to be one of the world's largest producers of para rubber.
Oh, okay.
The way you all those Dunlop tires and everything.
So you just used to have
the seeds of those the seeds, yes, the seeds. They were up to walnut size, and then you get 4. And you have 4 on your side. The other person about 10 feet away will have 4 on his side.
Okay.
And then there's one, para pebble of seed. You throw it. If you hit the 4, that's a good win. Then until you knock out one by one, because the 4 is put together. Then you scatter them like the 9
almost
pin.
Like bowling.
Bowling.
Yeah.
And then you hit it, and it scatters to 4 points, 4 spots, 4 seats. Then you knock out the 4 one by one.
That seems
the
to be
first
very
to knock it all out
wins.
Wins.
I would like to. I think you should reenact that after the show.
That's
just go outside and
60. Well, 58 years ago.
Thank you for making me feel very, 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 very old today. But thank you so much for that. I also wonder, with your kids, I'm sure. Okay, so basically, I take it, board games didn't really exist back in your day, but now we have
there were board games
like chess and Ludo.
Yes, there were board games. There was Ludo, yes.
But I don't think there was Monopoly back then, was
Well,
there?
maybe when I was about 10 or 20. No, not 20. Before 20.
In Nigeria?
Yes, there was Monopoly, yes.
Fantastic. So you actually have played Monopoly?
Oh, I have played Monopoly.
Fantastic. So what are the games?
The truth is, I always found it difficult to understand. Maybe that's why I'm not too much of a successful businessman.
I will get to an interesting point later on that. But yeah, what games did you actually play with your own children? Can you remember? Was it football or
we were good with tennis.
Tennis?
Lawn tennis.
Fantastic.
Pizza and then table tennis. We even had table tennis.
Do you still play?
Well, I do. Well, if I have the opportunity.
I'm looking at you. Do you still play?
Yeah, but
lawn
lawn tennis, no. After my tendon accident, no way.
Oh, wow. Well, actually, it's good to know you're actually still in a bit of form. You're still agile as a daddy. You can still perform your daddy duties.
But my son is a basketballer. He's really good at it.
Fantastic. And you encourage him to follow that passion,
Oh,
don't
sure.
you?
I mean, the man, he knows what he wants, so he goes for it.
And you support him with that every step
To
of
the
the way.
best of my ability.
Well, that is another thing for you fathers. Please don't look at your newborn baby and say you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. Pray, see the purpose of your child and try and fulfill it, according to that child's destiny. Don't put your own thoughts on them. So, just wanted to take a little break. Hello, 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 Lagos, and welcome back to the Soni Irabor Show, proudly presented to you by Best Man Games. Ah, wow, I'm just on Twitter right now, and a tweet has come from Yolanda George David, and she says, "Oh my world, Uncle Soni is an old man." Oh." Feeling like I was born yesterday. Well, Mr. Soni, well, I don't think you look actually quite distinguished in your outfit, if I may say so myself.
Thank you.
So I don't think, and I can't see too much gray hair. I think you're very, very dashing today, actually. So enough of the washing for now.
If you must know, my son and my daughter dressed me up. I think they were speaking to each other on the phone because my daughter is not in the country, and my wife was planning all kinds of goodies, and I think they just sort of said, "Well, maybe you should." Did
you tell them you were doing this show today?
I told them, I said, "Listen, whatever you hear, just bear with me because some guy's trying to put me on the hot seat."
That guy is Yemi Adedoyin from Best Man Games, and you are about to actually experience the fire from the cooking pot now. So please fasten your seatbelts as we go hard into.
Who's got some water here? I can always use the water to douse the fire.
Don't worry, I won't make it so hard for you. So welcome, Lagosians. We are Nigerians at large and human beings and civilians of the world. But we've realized in Nigeria, we're a population of 160 million, and that's just within us, not all the people that are outside. So many families seem to be disjointed nowadays. Why do you think this is the case in our country?
Well, I think one is fear of the unknown. Second is we all refusing to accept our blame. It's a blame game, actually. Instead of realizing how wrong you have been over time, you tend to want to blame the other party for your mistakes.
Oh, wow.
And then the fact that that phrase about spare the rod, you
spoil the child.
I don't know how much of it we have actually not been guilty of. And well, there's competition. I must confess, competition
amongst parents.
Yes,
competition
and
amongst parents.
It's not a healthy competition. It's still the same blame game competition where you want to get the favor of the child at the expense of the mother, or get the favor of the mother at the expense of the child. So there's
a bit of an imbalance, balance, and that balance is important for every child.
True.
Every child that grows up, a child that grows up without his dad definitely will have his challenges. A girl that grows up without either of them, everybody that grows up without both parents has a problem. And then those that grow up with parents, both parents, mommy comes home and is like, no, this I want him to wear this, and daddy's like, no, I want him to actually study this, and mommy's like, no, but I think it's this, and then the child is just there looking without having anything to say for themselves, and then it's unnecessary. And then there's parents that are actually competing with other parents. Hey, they bought this boy one BMX bicycle, we must go and save and do our own, and they forget about the child might not want a bicycle, the child might just want a Barbie doll or something. So I guess parents, please pay attention to your kids. And the African family with the father figure at the helm has traditionally been more cohesive and close-knit than in Western cultures.
Yeah.
This appears to be changing with the nuclear family becoming more prominent at the expense of the extended family.
Well,
the
truth is we're a copycat nation. Wow. Nigeria has been consuming other people's products over time. And I'm talking about 50 years, maybe more. So it's become a tradition, and many of us are growing into, colonial mentality, copycat syndrome, where instead of you actually building your own, you would prefer to, see others and want to go along with them. For example, the way we dress
in Nigeria.
It's only the women have been the best representatives of Nigeria in terms of dressing. They've been very
ladies, shout out to you.
They've been very totally ethnic, African and Nigerian, proudly Nigerian. For men, I'm still very guilty of wearing suits, I must confess. And
feel good in those blazers,
I don't know if it's a
tie
feel
and
good
bow tie.
thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you look good in
the
suit.
Do you know how long it takes to even wear that suit? Ordinary to tie to knot the tie.
Your finger might even get stuck in there one day.
But there's one big problem.
Yeah.
You know, economy is not getting better. Many fathers are now faced with either staying on the meager salaries they earn or trying to make many ends meet so that they can meet the demands and the obligations to the family. So the tension is high, psychologically, physically, mentally, and it's affecting their health. There are more people now who, and also the mothers,
Of
I
course.
must confess, because everybody's trying to do something that is right.
Exactly.
But again, where do you draw a line of being right or wrong?
Exactly. And I also believe, I agree with you in what you just said, because, when these mentalities, these hardships are there, these not hardships, should I say, this strain is there, fathers trying to provide as mothers trying to provide, as you're saying, they neglect the child.
Yes, and then of course, there are times too your children want to talk to you.
Yeah.
You're not in the mood for it. You
I
say
believe
not
we've
now,
all
later.
experienced that once in a while.
And then the children tend to bottle up some of these things over a period of time, and they become bitter.
Because of not getting the due attention at the right time.
And it's their right, it's their natural right.
Of course, I mean.
Sometimes
Who else
they
wants
will
to give
even
it to
remind you that, hey, God gave me to you, not to use anyhow, but to nurture and take care of.
Has one of your
and
children
bring up.
told you that?
No, he hasn't.
Or something
thank God.
close
Or not,
to that?
Neither.
Are
he
you sure
nor
when
she.
you wanted to start playing basketball, you're like, are you sure this nuclear neurosurgeon I want you to obey? Are you sure you don't? This ball you're bouncing. And the guy turned to you and I was like, oh boy, daddy.
No, on the contrary, I think what has been, we have been lucky. Let me say, my
Thank
wife and
God.
I have been
Thank
lucky because.
Thank God for that.
But if you probably would say, okay, wouldn't you rather you did this, and they will argue their way out completely. They would just argue their way out. In my own case, my father was a bit more lenient to me. He wanted me to be a doctor. I wasn't good in the sciences, and I told him that much. Wanted me to be a lawyer, and I didn't know anything about law. I wasn't really keen on it.
Wow.
And I said, "What's wrong with you? What do you then want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to be a broadcaster." I said, "What's that?"
What is that?
I said, "Well, those who talk on radio, and TV wasn't even too keen that
Back
those
then,
days." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, you want to be a broadcaster? All right, let me see how you become a broadcaster." Naughty you, so and so. Luckily for me, my eldest sister, took me with her to Lagos, and
You found the way. That is.
and somehow I became on radio.
So basically you followed your passion.
I was lucky
You
to have been able to
followed-
follow my
Yeah,
passion.
you had the liberty, thank God, at
But
some
the beauty
point.
of it was that over time, I think about a year and a half later, I was reading news on the network, and my father said, "That's my son." He
Hey,
forgot that we had a battle over what I should
you
become.
should have reminded him. Be like,
No,
hey.
I didn't want trouble.
Wait, don't you? So speaking of this, on this issue exactly,
Yeah.
what do you think? We went into spare the road, spoil the child. I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask you personally if you flogged your beat your kids, but your own experience. What is your intake on it? Because in the Western world, since you like wearing suits, you could actually go to prison for that. So what in Nigeria we were allowed to,
No, I still think Nigeria has some of the best forms of child bringing up or rearing.
Let's go Nigeria.
It's just that we are neglecting. We're listening to the so-called Western world syndrome, which is not helping us because the Westerners are not taking care of their kids well. All the things the cases of child molestation, child picking up a gun and shooting at schools in the last 10, 15 years,
it's
happening every year.
It's a bit much.
Those things are a bit alien to us.
Yeah.
And then the African extended family system used to be very helpful to us. I think we seem to be narrowing that now, and it's no longer as interesting and as catchy as one would have expected it to be. So I think we need to just draw a line and say what's good for the child and what will be good for the parents, father and the mother. We should try to, there must be a balance. We must strike a balance for the common good of all. First is God-fearingness.
Yes.
Second one is respect for human rights. The third is really, are we civil enough to understand that lying is a taboo? You should not lie, because even parents lie to their children.
Yeah.
And I don't know if fathers are not the biggest liars on earth, but God help us.
No, I believe fathers are here to show us the way, and when a father lies, he's actually trying to protect the child in his mind. But anyway, I want to ask you, Mr. Irabor, what can Nigerian fathers or fathers around the world in general, Western fathers, as long a father is a father, no matter what your race is or anything, your responsibility is the same. So, what can fathers do to develop their relationships with their children? And their wife is there, but that's another topic. With their children, many of us listeners might be undergoing some strenuous relationships with their children. What would you advise? Is it always reversible? Some actions. What do you do?
I'm praying that many relationships have not reached a point of no return between father and son or father and daughter. I honestly think that father should make the move first, try to get close to the child, try to be honest with the child. And if you have a situation where you are embarrassed, where you are ashamed of what you are ashamed of, and you think you cannot bear the cat, oh, for goodness sake, call the child and talk to him or her.
Communicate.
And the first cut is the deepest, really. The first time the news breaks, oh my God, it's going to be very hard to bear.
Yeah,
yes.
Imagine.
But you pass through it. It's like announcing the death of a close one,
Yeah,
you have to face the consequence of that news, and then you have to get to the next level. And patience should be the real virtue.
Patience. I think I was a bit of a strong head. I'm not
a strong one.
Hey, you're the one on the hot seat. Don't let me increase the flames of your questions for you.
Don't worry.
But as a dad, many children are afraid of their fathers and change their behavior when daddy comes home. That those kind of dads. Dads are so powerful. I'm not trying to say anybody in the military or generals, but some fathers are so disciplined in nature, and when the kids come around, they just lock up and they can't be themselves. Many of our listeners, might have this kind of situation going on. So, how do you think this can be avoided or corrected?
I think really
because this means the children can't express themselves.
Yeah. You used an example just now, but some lay people are worse than soldiers.
Yes.
They're not even disciplined.
Sorry, Nigerian, I didn't mean it that way, but I just meant, soldiers as in respect. Your discipline is impeccable.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm really just saying.
I'm apologizing to them, not you. Okay. Unless you're a soldier yourself, sir.
Soldier of mine, yes.
Fantastic.
Okay, the truth is, I think that fathers have to face the consequences of their actions by opening up and letting go. Some fathers hold on to the tenet of saying, I'm the man in charge. But if you're the man in charge, show that you're in charge. Take control. Be honest. And at the same time, when your child tells you, Dad, you're wrong, and you know you're wrong, oh, for goodness sake, accept to be wrong. And say sorry when you should be sorry.
Apologize. Move on.
I know for some of us it's a bit hard to swallow, but it is the truth. Do you want peace? Do you want harmony? Do you want to move on and have a good family that you can be proud of? Then there are certain sacrifices to be made. I think that's just what it is. Am I a good father? I try to be.
You aspire to it. You work towards it every day.
Absolutely.
Every morning your mind is renewed. I have to better my family.
And it's not
that I'm just going to come on air and just, talk to the world and do some business. As in, I know everybody, as we said earlier, can just get distracted because everybody wants to be successful. Every dad in their right mind wants to provide everything for their family.
But the demand is very high.
With our population, I can imagine.
The trouble now is that the society is going more and more towards negativity.
Well,
when we're hardly thinking of the positive. Is it at the level of governance or at the level of work, corporate entity, or in the home? There's mutual distrust rather than mutual trust.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Mutual. Could you say that again, please?
Well, mutual distrust rather than mutual trust.
Wow. Word to the wise, ladies and gentlemen.
I used to read some series in the books those days, and I think, it was, it said, love is never having to say you are sorry. But the truth is, when there's a need to say sorry, for goodness sake, say you're sorry. And mean it anyway.
I mean it.
And that means both man and woman.
And father and son, daughter, no matter regardless your race or anyone you are a human being. You have family. Take care of your family. We're going on a short break right now. and we are going to be giving you another one of our favorite songs from Best Man Games. This is Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Ooh. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, yeah, yeah. Then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. 'Cause I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Sometimes I'd listen outside her door, and I'd hear how my mother cried for him. I pray for her even more than me. I pray for her even more than me. I know I'm praying for much too much, but could you send back the only man she loved? I know you don't do it usually, but dear Lord, she's dying to dance with my father again. Every night I fall asleep, and this is all I ever dream.
Hello, Lagos, and welcome back to Soni Irabor Live on Inspiration 92.3. My name is Yemi Adedoyin, and in the hot seat, we have Soni Irabor himself being our dad for the day. Thank you so much once again, sir, for this privilege, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far.
Yeah, I am.
Fantastic to hear. So I'd just like to ask just like one more question you could really, give us some light on, and then I'd just like to connect, why Best Man Games is actually honoring Father's Day and how Best Man Games is relevant in the family. But the question now is, the father-son relationship can be very awkward. One, not if nurtured, and has a huge impact on the way the man will relate with his own family in future. So, what advice do you have for fathers in their father-to-son relationship? You just spoke about your boy basketball. How do you develop this?
Well, as children are growing up, they're also watching and recording, things that their parents are doing. I think that our parents should stop fighting in presence of their children. That's one.
One.
Because when the child is more grown up than they used to be, when they're in their teens and 20s and 30s, they begin to speak as equals to you, as adults. And they also begin to advise you and say, listen, I don't know what you want me to learn from this, but guys, what do you think you're doing, I think fathers should be more open, more resilient to their children. I think they should allow the children to have faith in them, because the father is the first rock back, is it a key cornerstone, the first pillar of support.
We use that, yes.
Before the teacher, even in school. But you find that the reverse is the case when, in some cases, some children confide more in their teachers than in their fathers.
That is sad. And that is actually
it's a heartbreaking experience.
It's not the best.
Yeah,
I agree. And we're just wondering, as you said earlier, you gave advice to fathers. You said open up and let go. In order to be a better father, search within yourself, open up and let go. And then you specifically said fathers should take charge, and they should take charge and control of their duties as a father, and also be honest with their families. So I'm wondering, what else do you think would be a better way for dads to... Okay, actually, there's this one very interesting question that just came to mind. Usually parents, families, well, let's just say dads, in Nigeria, there's when us young lovebirds want to get married, sometimes you may have a problem with the relevant other spouse. It's funny, but it's not funny, because this is a real hard situation for some people.
We've seen so many of
and
such.
It's energy drawing, it's mentally devastating, for this couple. Like, what do you think? What can you say about this? I know it's a bit different parts of Nigeria, but
I have seen and even emceed weddings where parents were at loggerheads. Parents, especially parents who were no longer together, and there was an embarrassment for the person wedding, And then also you have families that are not on speaking terms, and their children are in love, and the children insist that they have to get married.
Romeo and Juliet.
And then what you also find is a big problem. So, honestly, I just think that we should be realistic. Come on. How much of hate are you going to take?
Especially from your own children.
From your children. If you cannot let go for that moment, to have that moment for the child to be a happy person, then you really are not the father. You only allow God only gave you the opportunity for the child to pass through you.
That means
if you're not a father to your child, then you can never be a father to anybody else. Charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home, and that goes back again to what you said before. Open up and let go, dads. Let your children marry who they think. Sometimes, yes, you have your reservations, but communicate it in the most calm and patient and a way your child will understand, and let them make their mind up by themselves.
True.
So, just to steal you away from the show, I'd like to just talk about Best Man Games for a little bit, and why it's important for us to get, why it was important for us to get on this show. Board games, which is what we specialize in, all sorts of games. Monopoly is our flagship product, but we are coming up with other games very soon. Our website is www.bestmangames.com. You can go there and find relevant information and see some of our products that we may be bringing out. And board games like Monopoly are an entertaining way for the whole family to spend some time together. Everyone can get involved, relax, and have a fantastic time and learn at the same time. If you can build this into your family time at weekends or during the holidays, hours of fun, competitions, and learning for the kids, it goes a long way. And to an adult mind, board games, might not be that relevant, or, might not have time because you're focusing on your accounts. But to kids love games. take yourselves back, daddies and mommies, to the times when you were 8, 10. You like all you wanted to do was play. You weren't really thinking about your account and how much you want to balance it and your cost and profit. No, you wanted to play. And children learn by mirroring people. Whatever they see, they learn. And what better way is it to teach your kids than in a fun, constructive way? So this board game, to an adult mind, it's a fun and entertaining way to pass time. But, we actually fulfill a lot more than that in just playing the game. Like, for example, Monopoly. It provides hours of entertainment, but it may also teach you valuable lessons on money management, risk, saving, investing, diversification. If you tell this to an 8-year-old, all of them will look at you like, what are you talking about? But these are valuable skills that could be instilled in these children subconsciously from a young age.
What advice would you give to us fathers then?
Spend, daddies,
should buy more Monopoly games? Or?
Well, buy more games. We are leading African
maybe
games
I should
company,
also
and
we should play with them.
Play with them. Go outside, kick a ball. Play some basketball with him. Even if you can't, shoot and score, at least he will appreciate the fact that you're trying to shoot in the first place. I'm sure. So, and one relevant thing I'd actually like to mention about Monopoly is that there's this gentleman, Philip Urbains. He's American, and he has spent more than 30 years judging the United States and World Monopoly Championships. And he noticed that the winners of these competitions actually went on in the real world to actually become financially... Yeah.
Wow.
So there is a direct correlation, to winners of Monopoly and, actually succeeding in the real world. Okay. So, yeah, Monopoly. But, this is what it is. And
right, I think that's what I would like to try out. And
since you didn't get it, I would actually like to teach you. So you can teach not just your kids, but your entire family or your grandchildren. Because Monopoly has actually existed for over 80 years and it has been in Nigeria. And I'm happy you even said you played it yourself. So why don't you take yourself back into time and go to your grandchildren or your, not necessarily yours, maybe your sisters or brothers' children and play it with them. You will be surprised at what you find out. There was even one point I was talking with my CEO, and she said that there was one family that recently played Lagos Monopoly with their 2 sons, aged 7 and 9 in Lagos. And the older child went to the bathroom, and his younger brother furtively stole his money, the Monopoly money, and hid his brother's money under his own pile. So, the parents noticed this and were surprised. But even though it is a game, it did present issues that they had never had an opportunity to discuss as a family.
Wow.
Cheating and being fraudulent to win at all costs, and the consequences of this. You might see children playing around and you might look like it's a joke, but if they grow up with this mentality and feel they can get away with it, so they were able to see some traits and behavior patterns in their kids, attitudes in their children, which they could now deal with in a constructive, non-threatening way from an early age. So it's not just Monopoly, but any game.
That means there's a lot to learn.
There
even
is
as
a lot
parents,
to learn.
To get everybody, and maybe this is the point
where I think I should try and hear from the public. So. Ladies, gentlemen out there, if you want to give your dad a shout out, anything you want to ask Mr. Irabor is here for you. Hello? Hello. Welcome to Soni Irabor Live on Inspiration FM. How are you?
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. I'm not a father yet, but I'm aspiring to be one, so thank you very much. Who am I speaking with today?
Happy Father's Day. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
What's your name?
I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's happening?
It's nice to hear you be on the off seat.
Thank you.
In fact, they don't turn the game, Uncle. They turn the ball.
I'm trying to take it easy with him.
Yeah, you have a beautiful role.
Thank you very much.
Happy Father's Day.
Same to you, bro. Are you a dad yet?
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Where is Dan?
Dan is now on his own. Big guy.
Oh.
Great guy. Still our friend.
Okay. Football, the recruiting is doing very good. In fact, he's taking charge.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Uncle, you are doing a good job. I love your show.
Thank
I
you.
don't miss it.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day.
Today, I shut my door and just listen.
Thank you so much.
So I hope you got some very good tips on being a dad, eh?
Yeah, I'm also a dad.
Fantastic.
I have to.
You're actually a dad?
Yeah.
Yes, two
Fine.
girls.
Congratulations. Happy. So this is, let me see myself out. Two of you talk, daddy to daddy.
My wife told my daughter this month to come and say Happy Father's Day to me. I just got his word, and I was so glad.
And that touched you. Just that sentence alone, Abi.
Yeah.
Thank God for fathers. Thank you so much for calling and keep listening. Hello. 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 Good afternoon. Welcome to Soni Irabor Live. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm fine.
Many daddies are calling us today. Hi, who am I speaking with, please?
I'm not yet a daddy.
Don't worry. I claim it for you in faith, my brother. We shall be daddies. So what's your name? What's your name, bro?
My name is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
From Yaba.
From Yaba. How was your day today?
My day was fine.
Fantastic. Is there anything you want to say to Daddy Soni today? Or?
Yes, I really want to appreciate him. Daddy Soni, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. God bless you.
Daddy Soni is a very loving father. I know because I've met him one by one. I've took pictures with him with my, my sister's kids.
Hey,
And
wow.
he's a very wonderful man.
Thank you.
So I really want to appreciate him.
Thank you so much.
So,
Thank you. And
yeah,
what
so-
do you are you a dad? Are you a dad yet, or are you becoming a dad?
No, I'm not yet.
So
a
what
dad.
have you done for your dads today?
My dad is late, fortunately.
My
May so
condolences.
rest in peace.
Amen.
Thank you. But my dad wasn't a loving father. There was a time I even called on one of the program on this station, and I was really bitter with my father, although he is late since 2010. But there are some things he did then that really affect all his children now. I'm from a polygamous family with about 16 children, and we were just, we're not really happy with our dad. But, well, anyway, he's late now, and I've forgotten all that, but he wasn't really a loving father to me. But,
Okay. You know what? Can I tell you something?
yeah.
Now that he's late, you may have time to reflect and seek forgiveness for him. Okay? He may have done things without realizing the implication. He may have also taken some decisions that he didn't realize were going to be harmful to you, the kids. But please forgive him and pray to God for his soul.
Well, I would
Please.
do that, but it's always very hard for me because what I
Yeah,
do
but
now
you know the
is
power.
something I shouldn't be doing. I dream very big of myself.
Okay.
Immediately I was like, out of secondary school, I wanted to be, somebody, and I really looked up to him. He was then somebody that would have, really helped, his children to go further in education and, to help them to become what they want.
Yeah, but do you know something? I see a situation here where you have realized that your dad made mistakes. You've also realized that you don't want to be like him. So the
Yes.
best you can do, therefore, is pray for his soul, forgive him, and try not to be like him. It's very important.
I will never be like him. I've heard
Okay.
you, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you,
God
sir.
bless you, my brother. God bless you.
Hello.
Hello,
Daddies are on a roll today. Oh, daddies
How are
are
you?
calling.
Uncle Sonny.
How are you, sir?
Wonderful father. This all prayer.
Oh, how are you? Poor prayer. God bless you.
Bless you too, sir.
Yeah.
I always,
You just wanted to greet Daddy Soni, Abi.
I always love to appreciate him
That's
Thank
good.
you.
and
That's
for
good.
the wonderful people he invites to his radio show.
Thank you.
Thank
In fact, the
you.
whole of Inspiration FM is
Thank
a
you.
wonderful fan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
And
that.
I'm proud that I'm a part of the family.
God bless you, sir. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, my last born is in the university.
Wow, you don't sound that old.
I was about to say.
Oh,
So-
fantastic.
So sorry, sir. Do you play games with your? Even though your last born is in university, that means I believe all your children are old. Do you play any games with them?
Yes, I do.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? Just because you called to appreciate our dad, Uncle Soni, I'm actually going to give you a present. I'm going to give you a Monopoly board, so that the next time your kids are in your house, Christmas is around the corner. I'm sure everybody will be at home. Mommy will
Yeah.
be there. I'm sure some other people. Monopoly is a game that can play from 2 to 8 players. So I want you to contact the studio and make arrangements to come and pick it up. Just leave your. Well, Uncle Sonny knows you, so who am I to?
So please, what you do is Paul prayer, yeah.
Yeah.
Just come on a day, maybe Monday, Tuesday, before 12. Before 12, 11 is best time.
Okay.
Okay, when you or send somebody with a note or your card or something, then we'll give you the board.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be a
Thank you
Nigerian
so much.
centenary. But
God bless you.
pleasure
I
from Best Man
appreciate you.
Games.
Thank you.
God bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely
Hello.
day. Hello and welcome to Inspiration FM.
Hello.
Please tell me you're a mommy.
Yeah, hello. I'm still single anyway.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon. Who am I speaking with, please?
Yeah, speaking with you from First Class.
Sorry.
You're speaking with you from First Class.
Chinyere, how are you?
Fantastic.
I'm good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to wish my father all the best of life. I love him so much. He's so dear to me.
Man.
Because I'm the first daughter, he doesn't joke with me.
Wow.
I'm just his pet. Even at this age, I'm still his pet.
Wow. Well, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Great for him. Great. I'm so proud to have a father whose parents or children rather are proud of.
Yes, I'm
Fantastic.
proud of him any day, any time. I miss him every time. Even if he's not with us, I still miss him every minute of the day.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
God bless you.
Chinyere, thank you so much. I'm just wondering, are you a mommy?
No.
Are you on your way? Are you planning to be a mommy soon?
Amen. Yes,
Amen. I pray for you. Claim it by faith. Claim it by
I
faith.
claim it in Jesus' name.
Amen, sister. Amen. Thank you so much.
Also, for me there, please.
Thank you. I can hear you. God bless you.
Yes. Okay. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye. Hello.
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 Hello there. Good afternoon, Inspiration FM. Hi, how are you?
Uncle Sonny, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are
Happy
you?
Father's Day to you.
Thank you very much. Happy Father's Day indeed to all fathers.
Thank you. You know, the greatest day of my life was the day I became a father and they told me, you have a son.
Bravo.
And I was in the delivery room and I was filming the delivery and everything.
Awesome.
And the nurse told me, drop the camera and carry your son.
Yeah. You forgot to carry your child.
You were so caught up in the moment.
Was so excited.
And the nurse told me, drop the camera and carry your son. And I felt really, really very, very good. Today I'm a proud father of 2 children. Sorry, my name is Olumide.
Yes.
I'm a proud father of 2 children. And I'm also proud of my father.
Thank you.
We are 8 in the family, and he committed a lot and sacrificed a lot to get us, all of us, to where we are today. I can say I love him. I appreciate him. I'm really grateful to him for everything he has done for me in my life. And I always love him. No matter what he has done, is what he has done for me and where he has brought me now that is most important. You know, most people say their father is this and that. And let me tell you, every father has either a negative or a positive effect on you.
Everyone does.
And you have a lesson to learn. And that's the way you should see life. My father made that no matter what I meet in this world, they all cannot be positive. Somebody will have to be negative. And that's the lesson for you to learn, that there's always the good way, there's the bad way. And you have to make a good choice. That's just it. And I appreciate my father for all the lessons he has done. And for the young man that was talking, the other man that is in the board, talking about board game.
Yes.
We're talking about monopoly.
Yes, boss.
One of my brothers based in the US. He's not very happy with your Lagos monopoly. He said he didn't put this like Ajegunle, all those suburbs that are existing. Are you planning that those schools should not be developed?
No. I think it's
ideas we have to invest in such an area.
If I may put in a word, it's work in progress.
It's work in
The
progress.
next edition will have those ones.
That you cannot wipe out. Not everybody can live in the Koyi.
Yes,
everybody can live in Lekki.
I agree.
But those places are existing and they need development. You have to get people to be interested in it. And Monopoly Board, I think, is a great game that can get people to know more about this place and know how to develop them and bring them out into the open.
Just so you know, Mr. Olumide, I would actually like to go directly into something. The Monopoly Board only has like 28 squares you can put property on. Makoko and some other places are there. But today, actually, there's a competition going on for students in Ajegunle, in Karo Favored Secondary School. And they're all writing 100-word essays on my unique dad. And I just want to read one for you to show that even though they're not on the Monopoly Board, we Best Man Games are actually in Ajegunle, working with students from all over the state to actually develop them. Let me read this essay for you that one student from Karo Favored Secondary School, Ajegunle, has written. It's called My Unique Dad. Of all the people that I have come across in my life since my childhood, the person I am passionate about and will never stop talking about is my wonderful dad. An adage says anyone can be a father, but it takes a real man to be a dad. It takes courage, strength, responsibility, patience, acceptance, love, and much more. And my dad is a perfect embodiment of these virtues. My gentle, loving, jovial, and disciplinary father. His cheerful attitude, positive instincts, and good thoughts for me makes him special to me. And to my unique dad, happy Father's Day. From Nwagu Chiagu Kelechi from Karu Favored Secondary School in Anjugune.
Olumide, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
Yes, I said that's a good one. You heard it?
That's a very good one. I was born in Najigule. My
So,
father started his life from Najigule. I was born in Najigule. You understand? I was born in Najigule. Before I moved to Okesuna in Lagos Island to live with my auntie.
Nice.
So I know these areas and I grew up
So
in
do you know Karo? So basically, yeah, Karo is one of our adopted schools we take care of, and we have a series of other schools. We're trying to develop, financial literacy because our mission at Best Man Games is to increase family value, spend quality time, face-to-face interaction. We want to promote personal finance literacy, ethics and integrity, and present a positive image of Africa to the world. That is what we are trying to do. So forgive us for not putting all these areas on Monopoly board, but I'm sure, you'll be very happy with what you see from us.
Actually, my brother bought the Lagos one, but when he told me about that, he didn't put Ajigule, I was criticizing it, and I got to see reason with him that we were born there, we grew up there, and we thank God for God that brought us up.
Maybe what you should do now is get a copy and then see it for yourself. Okay?
And if you want to play, I can come and teach you personally. So don't let
I
me
know how to play Monopoly, forget it.
Then that means you have to come for a competition.
You have to come
for a competition.
Beat me first of all. And I'm also a real estate man, so I know what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Let me keep
Bless
calm
you.
and respect myself. Nice speaking to you, Olumide. Have a lovely Father's Day.
Take care of yourself. My dad's to auntie.
Yes, thank you so much. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Inspiration FM, Soni Irabor live.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Ray from Festa.
Pardon? What's your name?
My name is Dr. Ray from Festa.
Dr. Ray, nice to hear from you. Do you want to say anything to Uncle Soni?
Happy Father's Day to Uncle Soni.
Happy Father's Day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really want to appreciate Uncle Soni so much.
Thank you, sir.
He's one man I always love to hear on it. He's been so great. Most of the people he interviews on it, he's always well appreciated.
Thank
So
you.
I really appreciate him so much for the good work he's doing.
Thank you. God
Yeah,
bless
so
you.
happy Father's Day, Uncle Soni.
Thank you, sir.
Then to my dad is a very wonderful dad. Like when we were growing up, not really being too rich, but he's always been there. He gave up a lot by himself to make sure everything is okay with us. So I really, really appreciate my dad so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Then the dog man there, please, I want you to put Uncle Soni on a very hard seat. Because he's always putting a lot of
people. Today is his turn. Today I tried my best, but he has handled it so well. I'm sure you agree.
Okay, sure.
Thank you so much for calling again.
Thank you so much.
And ladies and gentlemen of Lagos City and wherever you may be listening from, if you've tuned in online, it's been a pleasure talking to you. My name is Yemi Adedoyin, presenting to you on behalf of Best Man Games Nigeria. And it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys, all the dads out there. I want to remind you of something our Uncle Soni has personally recommended for you to do each and every day when you wake up. Open up and let go. Open up and let go. Be true to yourself. And, take charge. Take charge of your family. Take control. Don't ever lose sight of the goal. You're a man and you are strong and you're the pillar of your family. Your wife will love you and support you by God's grace. And we pray everything will work out great for you for the rest of the year. And, have a wonderful day. And, try and play games with your kids a bit. It really does help. Thank you.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be your guest today.
Yes.
Next week's another date. The candles are running it off with Thank God for the Radio.
Have a lovely day.